What's up, everybody? Welcome to Narco Cop MMA, and this is the Lambo Plays podcast, episode 107, UFC Vegas 97. I'm your host, Mike, along with my co-host, Timothy Troiano. Timothy, 13, or was it 13 fight card now, or is it 12 now?
12 now. Yep.
12 fight, yeah. It's a 12 fight card in the Apex. Actually, it's some pretty big names for an Apex card, honestly. Talk about Natalia Silva, Jessica Andrade, Gilbert Burns, Sean Brady. Some really good names on this card. So I'm kind of surprised that this is an actual fight night card, but really good card. I don't mind the card at all. Yeah, how do you feel about this card? Do you feel refreshed after 1 week off here?
Definitely refreshed. Got some Labor Day fantasy football in, and then now we're back to some fights, which is always great to do. Think that, like you said, I think there's some good fights. I think there's some exciting fights, but we were talking about before the show, like I don't have any bets as of right now. I might put in one, but yeah, I think it's kind of a little bit sketchy on the betting side of it. So we'll chop it up and see what we can find.
All right. Yeah, it might be a little sketchy. We'll see. We're going to go through it here. Let me go over to my chat. Shout them out. Mushroom MMA, always in the house. What is up? There will be blood. Let's effing go, my friend. What is up? Dixon, Narco Tim, peace be with you, my brothers. Let's get a fat bag tomorrow night. Oh, that would be nice. Azure, let's go. Smash the likes as you join the stream, and thank you. I appreciate you, Azure. Always in there reminding you folks that if you're falling asleep at the wheel, make sure you hit that like button. Elijah Ola, my friend, how you doing? Joshua, how are you? What do you mean, man, I missed this show? Oh, you missed the show. I got you. Thank you, my friend. Ash from Cape Town, South Africa. Gents, I hope you all are ready for the jungle. Narco, you think Trickus drags Strickland's carcasses across South Africa? I don't know about that, but I do think Trickus is built different, man. That guy is something else. But thank you for joining all the way from South Africa, my friend. You like the hat. I appreciate you, Dixon. Few made it. Thanks to Mushroom for the heads up. What is up, Daz? My man. Zell, my boy, Timothy Troiano, the GOAT. He says, yes, sir, Timothy Troiano is a GOAT. DA07, let's kick off September with a bang. Yeah, that would be nice. Aussie Fight Fan, what is up, my man? Thank you for joining as well. Jackie Blaine, what's up, my man? Tons of respect to you as well. Always in the house, always showing support. Thank you. MMA Crypto King, Gerald, round 2 sub was a great pick. Back again for the Lambo. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. We give out those bangers every week for the most part. Eric, good luck on Sunday, Tim. What do you got on? Oh, he's talking about your Steelers? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. How about my good luck for my Vikings? No good luck to me, Eric? Remdog, what is up? Thank you for joining as well. Craig Crowley, what is up, my man? Jewish Better, also in the house. Can someone tell Dixon, can you unblock him, please? Touchdown Barkley. All right. With that being said, Tim, let's start out with the first fight of the night, and it is in the featherweight division. It is the 9-2 Zigamantes Ramasca versus the 8-1 Nathan Fletcher. This one's yours.
Well, this one sucks because we got some really, really great lines last time on these guys, and then the books have just like gone, no, you're not going to get those again. So kind of sucks. I'm not going to switch my pick or my read on it because of the lines, but I do think there's way, way, way less value on these. So be interesting to see if you keep yours the same as well. But, I just think that this is classic, like, we got both these guys are into some firefights. I think Fletcher sub, he's going to come out. He's going to try to grapple. He's going to try to get him down. Fletcher's a small for this weight class. Ramasca is just really super wild. Usually goes for the finish really early. I think that there's a possibility that both of these guys might be a little bit more durable than the line is saying. The lines were just crazy last time. For like the under 1.5 was kind of juiced. Fight to go was, fight not to go is like minus 200. But I mean, we were getting like 9 and 10 to 1 on decision for Ramasca and 25 to 1 on his split decision prop. and now it's like 5-1 and 12-1, which is just terrible. So I think there's I'm probably not going to bet it now because of the lines. I was going to bet it last or 2 weeks ago at those lines. I thought those were crazy, but yeah, I'll go with Ramaska by decision, Ramaska by split, but don't like the lines anymore.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys don't think this show is good, well, that's one reminder right there, because we gave out Ramaska by decision at plus 1,000. And here we are 2 weeks later, and they're giving us fucking plus 550 now. So they literally took off $4 on that price, knowing that, that line was off, man. That was an off line at plus, 10-1 was crazy. Now we're back with a 5.5-1, which honestly I don't like as much. I'm not going to play that line. I don't think there's value at this point because they killed our value. However, I think there is some value on the Fletcher decision. Now at 440, I don't mind it because he's probably the one that's going to grapple Tim. And when you ask me who's the less, the guy that has that is a little bit less dangerous here, I would say it's Fletcher. Yes, he has submissions, but Ramaska is just a madman, man. He's wild. He has knockout power. He has actually sneaky subs as well, does Ramaska. So he's kind of dangerous there as well. But yeah, I mean, Fletcher now at plus 440, I guess it's the way I'm going to go. This fight went from like, I don't remember. It was a crazy like fight goes line, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember what the fight goes was?
It was like close to minus 350-ish, minus 400.
Yeah.
The under
now
one
they came back and give you fight goes at minus 200, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, plus 200, sorry. And it's minus 225. Like they really nuked everything here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, for me, I'm just going to give out this Fletcher play at plus 440, not something I love because, the play I really loved was definitely that Ramaska decision at that crazy price. But now that's gone. So
I agree with you. Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, man. I agree with your take completely, actually. Like, I think that the value side on the decision and the way less dangerous guy, unless he gets a sub, I don't think that he's KOing Ramaska here. So, yeah, it's just, yeah, I agree with you. I think that that's actually probably the much more valuable play at the lines.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that decision. Yeah, Glenn, but the decision line just got nuked, man. When we gave it 2 weeks ago, it was 10-1. It's 5-1. I can't really say there's value to that line anymore. I like the value when it was 10-1. If you ask me who's most likely to win a decision, I think it's Fletcher. If the fight gets there, it's most likely Fletcher because he has some of that grappling upside, So, yeah, I wouldn't play that line, honestly, 5-1. What is up? Half the battle. Dan Levy, thank you for joining, my friend. Smash the like the man says. Please listen to him. And let's move on. Fight number 2. It is in the middleweight division. It is the 11-3 Andrade Petroski versus the 7-3 Dylan Buka. And if you watched weigh-ins, Tim, did you watch weigh-ins at all?
No, but I heard about it.
Yeah, Buka, bro, it was bad. The guy was like, so the guy was doing the weight thing, right? And Buka could not really stand on there. And the guy wasn't looking at him, right? He's like still trying to figure out how much he weighed. And Butka's like, he's rocking back and forth like a boat, dude. It's the funniest thing. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's going to fall. And then, some guys ran up there and they made sure like this guy's not going to fall. But he missed weight. This guy's used to, he fought a lot at 205. When you look at his Instagram, he looked like shit, to be honest. Me and Sean talked about that too. He looked like shit on Instagram, man. And it turns out to be factual. I mean, this guy, I don't know what the fuck he was doing, whether he was hurt or what the deal is. His training partners are not really good. And this guy's, he's a college wrestler, but when you watch him, and I watched a lot of his tape regionally, yes, proactively when he's wrestling, he's fine. But when he's getting wrestled by other guys, he's not good. His takedown defense to me is honestly not good. And so, I know Petroski's kind of a quitter. I know His takedowns are not the best, but I think he gets this guy down, man. And the difference with these guys in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is very big. So when I watch some of Butka's matchups, even against that guy, Wes Schultz, who was on Dana White's contention, he had him in a deep submission. Bukoyev had him in an arm triangle, very deep. Guys that can get on top of him will have opportunities to get subs, and I do think Petroski's going to get on top of him, and I honestly do think he's going to get a sub. So I like a couple of plays here, honestly, that I gave out earlier in the week. First of all, I like the sub at plus 3.5 to 350. That line moved a bit, but rounds 2 and 3 I like as well. Petroski's not known for his gas tank, but let me tell you, this Buka guy's gas tank is not very good either, man. And when you're grappling him, it gets even worse. Now you add on the fact that he looked like shit. You couldn't make weight. He looked like shit prior to that. He might even have an injury. I don't know. But not everything points to this guy probably getting finished, to be honest. So I like 2-3, 800, 1,200. I like the sub at 350. Hopefully he doesn't get it right away in the first. But yeah, I mean, Petroski showed, I guess, decent cardio last time against Josh Frem at elevation. I was wrong about that fight. I thought Frem was going to be able to get up, and Frem showed absolutely no get-up game. And so it was rinse and repeat, one takedown and the whole round was done with. So, yeah, give me that submission and then 2-3 round. I don't want to play sub 2-3 just because it could be ground and pound. He does go for ground and pound. So, yeah, that's what I like here.
Yep, we are on the same path on this one. I love sub for Petroski. Same reasons. I think he can be a functional gasser at times. He's gotten finishes in round 3 before against really lower level guys. He looked fine. As long as there's no resistance, he looked fine against Wellington Turman. Tired out a little bit against GM3 in round 3, but he was still able to get him down and hold him down. Once he gets on top, he's heavy on top. So it's not easy. Buka was getting mounted by scrubs. He got mounted by a scrub that I was watching in one fight. I can't remember who it was, but like you said, I just don't think his defensive grappling is great. He's got zero jiu-jitsu to match up with Petroski's jiu-jitsu. I think Petroski's physically stronger. I mean, if you're looking at the wrestling for both of them, I don't think it's really close either. The guys that Petroski's been able to wrestle compared to Budka's struggling to get Almeida down in the second round, and then watching Kopylov look like Khabib against him is not that doesn't age well. So yeah, I think that this is a situation where I think once he gets him down, I think it could be even round 1 or round 2. So that's why I'm not going to get super greedy with it. I'm going to go sub, just plain old sub at plus 380. It's on Bet Rivers. I honestly think that the sub probably happens in 1 or 2. That's where I might differ from you here. I just think that he's going to melt. I think he's going to melt through him like hot butter here, like a knife through hot butter. I really do. I think that he's going to be able to advance positions. Kind of think it's like a arm triangle or a get to mount rear naked, turns his back rear naked choke type of situation.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could happen early. I mean, I'm not gonna say it can't. It could happen in 1 and 2. I just kind of feel like it could definitely happen in 1. I mean, that's Petroski when he's probably most dangerous anyway. He somehow has a lot of late round finishes, and I don't know how with his gas tank, but he seems to, I guess, push through, and he has multiple 2 round 2s and 2 round 3s. So I guess he doesn't have the worst cardio, but yeah, let's move on. Fight number 3. It is in the strawweight division. It is the 8-1 Jacqueline Amorim versus the 11-5 Vanessa Demopoulos. This one's yours, Tim.
This is a really interesting fight, man. I think that this is one where it's I've gone back and forth. I really think that there's 2 ways that this fight goes. I think that Amorim sub, or Demopoulos points and or split. I mean, Demopoulos, obviously, everybody's been talking about this all week. Like, she's got these judges that I think are like they've gotten lap dances from her or something in the past. I can't really justify the wins that she's getting against Marotte, Ducote. I mean, there's just it just is really bad. I mean, like, I think both of those fights are just really, really bad decisions, but she wins them. I mean, like, she just spams volume and just throws horrible strikes and just keeps throwing and throwing and throwing. And so, yeah, I do think that Amorim's jiu-jitsu is super dangerous. She's extremely good even off of her back and in guard, and can reverse, can sweep, get arm bars, get triangles, all these different things off of her back. I think so. To me, I think it's like a round 1 or round 2 sub for Amorim. I think it's very, very live. But then I just think also that the judges could just watch this. I think if it's standing, I think that there's like at least a 60-40 edge for striking and volume and better shots and more powerful shots from Demopoulos. So I don't understand how they get to like the money line. I don't really understand how they get to it, unless they think that the sub is like, I just couldn't believe that the sub line was as far away from the decision line on Amorim. Like, I don't see her having like massive decision equity in this fight. That was interesting to see what you got to say about that. But like, I see like she doesn't have great wrestling. It's not like she's going to like take her down over and over and over and rinse and repeat. Like, she needs to get it. She needs to get a takedown earlier. She needs to catch a kick or something like that, or pull guard and then be able to get her there, or reverse her there. So it's like, I don't know. I think the jiu-jitsu edge is significant, but I also feel like Demopoulos could just potentially keep the fight standing and then win a decision easily. So Demopoulos points is plus 460. Amorim sub is plus 330. Stupidly, Demopoulos sub, the books haven't learned at all. Like, plus 1200 on her split is kind of stupid to me. So I really like all three of those.
Yeah. So when I tape this and I look back and I look at this line, I'm like, how could this be correct? You know, Vanessa Demopoulos, yeah, I agree. She got away with a W against Marotte where she lost rounds 2 and 3. But honestly, on rewatch for the Ducote fight, I think she won the fight, man. She hurt Ducote in 2 separate rounds pretty damn bad, where Ducote was kind of not, her feet were under her, man, and she was running away. And I forgot about, you know, when I watched it in real time, I thought Ducote got robbed. But when I went back to watch it live, you know, after the fact, when I went back to watch it not live, I thought Demopoulos won the fight, actually. I gave it to her because there was in 2 separate rounds, she hurt Ducote on the feet. And, you know, looking back at this fight, do I think that, you know, Amorim can get takedown? Sure, she could probably get a takedown or two, you know, get on top. But I don't think it's going to be easy to sub Vanessa, man. Vanessa is good in jiu-jitsu. It's not like she's you know, some bum down on the ground. You know, she's really good in jiu-jitsu. She's competed a lot. You know, she's faced good grapplers before. It's not like, you know, this girl's the first grappler she's ever faced. And she's never been subbed. I mean, it's 16 fights. She's never been subbed. She's had, I don't know, 6, 7 amateurs, never been subbed. You know, there's something to say. You know, this girl, at first, you know, when we, what we know of her is that she's a jiu-jitsu girl, right? Like, that was Demopoulos' game, right? She's jiu-jitsu. She's not a striker, right? But I think she has kind of improved her striking, to be honest. You know, the one thing I like about Demopoulos is she'll throw a lot of volume. She's very tough. And she'll keep coming for 3 rounds. Her cardio is good, right? I'm looking at the tape on this Amorim chick, and she got a quick sub last time out, right? And it's fine. You know, she's really good on the ground. Don't get me wrong. She's really good on the ground. And she's dangerous, especially early, right? But Sam Hughes' fight, like towards the end of round 1, she's already getting tired, Tim. When Sam Hughes gets up, like, this girl looks tired already. Doesn't do shit in rounds 2 and 3. She's absolutely tired. Then you look at the Ruiz fight, right? She gets a takedown. She's all over Ruiz, beating the shit out of Ruiz, right? How does she get to the ground in round 2 and 3, Tim? She pulls guard, bro. She pulls guard and then reverses the chick. Like, what does that tell you? Like, you just beat the living daylights out of this chick. Why the hell are you pulling guard? You couldn't get a takedown against this corpse that you just killed for like 5 minutes? No, because she gets tired, dude. I think this chick truly gets very tired. Like, look at her wins. Round one. She gets to Sam Hughes, gets past the round 1. What happens? Death gases, right? Now you get to the other fight against Ruiz, beats the daylights out of Ruiz in round 1, then starts pulling guard in round 2 and 3. Why? Are you that fucking tired? Like, you need to pull guard? And then, obviously, the last fight wasn't quick. The thing is with Demopoulos is if she doesn't get her early, I think she's going to be in for it. Like, what's she going to do? Pull guard against Demopoulos and then what? She's going to try to sweep Demopoulos is not Ruiz. You know, so to me, it's like, I like Demopoulos here on the money line. Like, I played it. I thought it was way too big. But I also think, like, Demopoulos' decision is crazy, dude. It's 525. How could that be right? Like, her money line is 250 now, okay? So you're giving me, usually when we get a girl like Demopoulos doesn't have many finishes and her line is 250, you know what her decision line would be? 350 at best.
Yeah, 370.
It's 525. And then her split, dude, it's 1,200. Like, this girl is known to win splits. So I'm going to play those lines, man. Demopoulos by decision, 525 and split at 1,200. If you like Amorim, this is my thing. If you like Amorim, then I think her sub 1 has value. That's where she has value. I think it's plus 700. You can get it at plus 700. That's where the value is on her, in my opinion. You know, I think it's an early sub. I don't think she's going to just take down and control Demopoulos in round 2 and 3. I just don't. I think Demopoulos is going to get back up. She's going to throw punches off her back, do whatever she needs to do to get up. So,
what book has 525 for points?
I just looked at it. It is Bet Rivers has 525 by points.
Nice.
460 on FanDuel. I think that has value too. I mean, it shouldn't be more than like, I don't know, 4-1. It shouldn't be more than $1.50 more, you know?
Yeah.
Like, can she finish Amorim? I think if she's death gas, but the thing is, Hughes couldn't finish her, you know, and Hughes kind of has better cardio and stuff.
Yeah, her top game and danger on top is better than.
She'll pull guard. She'll pull guard and just lay on bottom and just like do nothing, right? And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's value there, 525 and 1,200. Even at 460, I think it's value. Let's move on. Fight number. Actually, you know what? Let me go over to chat. There's a lot of chat. I hate like skipping everybody, so it's not cool. Who do we have here? Pepe, what is up, my man? Thank you. Let's get some cash this weekend. He says, oh yeah. Who else do we have here? Brahma, Buka by decision, Demopoulos by decision. I like what you're thinking. She does a real good job acting like she wins every round. Yeah, I mean, that's what Demopoulos does. Plus, honestly, she trains in Vegas. She's always at the PI. She knows probably all the fucking judges. Today, she gets, I swear to God, I paid attention to this. She gets on the scale today with that guy. She talks to him. She says something to him, the guy that weighs me. She gets on the scale. The guy just doesn't even let the thing settle. Yep, 116 or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? This girl really gets special treatment here, you know? So Mbe is in the house. She said Vanessa hurt. Yeah, she hurt her twice, I think. I honestly think she hurt her twice there. Vanessa split 1,300. That's even a better line if you can get that. Ducati underperformed too. Yeah, I mean, Ducati underperformed, but you got to give Vanessa credit, man. She like stood with her toe-to-toe striking. I mean, pretty impressive. If you ask me, if you asked me, she would have stand for 15 minutes striking with Ducati. What happens? I would have told you Ducati probably fucking knocks her out even. But that wasn't the case, man. Like she's she's tough. She's gritty. She throws a lot of volume. Never fade a stripper in Vegas. That's another thing Ozzy makes a good case for. I don't see how Amorim makes it close in rounds 2 and 3. I mean, maybe she gets her down in some, I don't know. I don't think she gets it close either because Demopoulos is going to keep going, man. Makes a split decision if she doesn't get a finish. What else do we got here? She can't get takedowns. She can get takedowns, but not sure if you can control later in the round. Vanessa's going to be a dummy and engage her in a grappling instead of getting back up like Kulaba Ramos. That's possible. Vanessa is 35, but her cardio is great. It really is. She throws like everything into her punches too. Amorim seems weak to me. Me as well. I agree with that. MMA Lewis says, big up, boys. This show's always a must. Oh, MMA Lewis, are you new to the show? Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. First time in chat that I've seen it. What else do we have here? Maybe Vanessa can sub if Amorim is dead. That's also possible, I guess. I don't really want her to freaking hit the ground with her, to be honest. Los Santos says, this line is always a gift. Each fight, Vanessa deserves a kiss on the cheeks. Yeah. She's going to get the mitts. She couldn't get on KK. Yeah. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, this is my only money line bet of the whole card. I just think this line's a little bit too big.
Did you notice Los Santos' line though? He didn't say kiss on the cheek. He said kiss on the cheeks.
Oh, I know what cheeks he's talking about.
Just making sure.
You noticed that. All right, let's move on. We're getting too far in the weeds. Fight number 4, it's in the featherweight division. It is the 10-2 Gabriel Santos versus the 25-4 Yazi or Yizha or whatever you want to call him. Yeah, I'll kick this one off. I have 2 bets here. I gave them out earlier to my Discord. I like both of them, to be honest. I don't have a side here, but the first one is Yaza by submission at 1,200 is absolutely crazy. Like, I get Santos is a good grappler, but Yaza, that's all he does is grapple. And the guy, I mean, he's got 14 wins by submission, even though, you know, the guys are not like high-level guys that he's subbing, but this guy's really good. Like, if you watch one of his fights, they talk about how he grappled with Gary Tonin and, like, they went to decision, like, in a good grappling match. Like, this guy's a good fucking grappler, man. And he's nonstop. He's nonstop going to try to shoot, right? We already know he's not going to – he shouldn't stand with Santos, right? I really believe – like, I thought I was going to bet Yaza because of the grappling. But after taping Santos, I really like the guy, man. He's really good. He looks strong. He's got very good striking, very good, like, variety, man. You don't know what the fuck's coming from this guy. Knees, kicks. You know, his hands are good. He switches stances. And I think Yaza is good too, man. I think his hands are improving as well. He's at Team Alpha Male, so that's good for him. His subline is 1,200 on Hard Rock. But then also, man, Santos KO at plus 575. That cannot be right, man. This guy is like, when I looked at his record, I'm like, this guy's got to have a lot of KOs. And I'm looking, and he doesn't really have a lot, right? He's only got 3. I'm like, how could this be? How does this guy only have 3 KOs? But then you go back and watch, and he's like hurting Onama. He's hurting this guy. He's hurting that guy. Like, he hurts a lot of fucking people because he's powerful. And so Yaza on the feet, he can get hurt. I've seen him hurt. He's been knocked out. So 5, that's how I'm playing this. I'm playing Yaza by sub, and I'm playing Santos by KO at almost 6-1. I don't know how that's right.
Yeah, man, you hit mine at the end there. I like Santos in this fight a decent amount. I think he's better everywhere. I think that, you know, like, Yaza is just like one of these classic, like, just pressure grappler guys that doesn't always hold dudes down. Like, he can be taken down himself in a bunch of these fights. Some got taken down a bunch. He gets reversed as well. He's like super aggro when he gets these takedowns. He's not really processed, I don't think. I think that, like, even if he gets Santos down, I think Santos could reverse him. I think he could just slip off the positions. I think Santos's jiu-jitsu is better. I really do think he's better pretty much everywhere. So like with Santos, like he's got these fights where, like the Onama fight, like I thought he was winning that fight until he lost it. He just got hurt. I didn't think it was a gas job. I thought he got hurt, and then things just fell off a cliff. So yeah, I like Santos KO. I like KO 2 is 19-1, KO 3 is 30-1. Just simple round 2 is 7-1, round 3 is 11-1. So like I think that it's probably a little bit later. But I think that the KO is just these guys standing. Like if he can keep this standing, and it's just a gigantic advantage for him on the feet. I just don't like the striking very much from Yaza at all. So yeah, I'm all over that one as well with you.
All right, let's move on. Fight number 5. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 9-0 Andrade Lima versus the 8-1 Felipe dos Santos. This one's yours, Tim.
I was just laughing because I was thinking like they never give this dude, this Lima guy, any fucking points, man. I wish the judges would, or the ref that goes into this fight would be like, if he does an egregious fence grab here, I'm gonna just point him from the get-go, because this guy like cheats every single fight. Like I think that the Severino fight where he bit him, like he said that he was like blacking out and he didn't know what happened. It was like blackout drunk or whatever. Like I just think the dude got frustrated for him cheating like 15 times in that fight, and he's just like, fuck this, I don't care, I'm just gonna bite him and then we'll see what happens. I'll cheat as well. So I don't know. To me, it's a fight where I think like it's just probably the bigger shots are going to come from Lima's side. I think the volume is on the Santos side. Is it Santos? Am I missing his name up here? Yeah, I'm sorry. Santos side. And Dos Santos, like, to me is like, if you have like a really good wrestler or a grappler against him, I think that's like a great bet. Like I think Altamirano got like 1 million takedowns against him, and it's like how he stands when he fights. Like he stands really like just got a narrow base. He stands straight up. He comes in for like multiple shots when he's striking. So it's just like good grapplers or proactive grapplers can just like read that and then drop a level and then take him down. He doesn't really seem to have really good takedown defense. But I don't think that matters in this fight. Like I think Lima's not looking to grapple really very many fights that I was watching him. He's primarily a striker. The things I don't like about Lima is he can be low volume. And the last fight against Mitch Raposo, all he did was calf kick from the outside for like forever. And it just like he had so many opportunities to do more. And I don't know if that's like that was a mental thing or just a mental lapse that fight. But I think the kicks will be valuable here. But I think like striking, like just boxing and just volume and just I think it could be really close. I think it could just be a volume versus some moments. So just a classic end split plus 350. I think the fight goes at a high clip. Santos by split is plus 900. So yeah, end split to cover both bases plus 350, and then Santos split at 9-1.
Yeah. I mean, there's two things in this fight that I looked at. I thought I was going to play, by the way, Felipe dos Santos. I'm like, I got to play this guy. He's tough. He's got good cardio. He keeps coming, throws a lot of volume. And in the Altamirano fight, he gassed, but it was at elevation in Mexico City, and I kind of gave him a break for it. It's like, he's young at elevation, probably, fucked him up a little bit. Like Lima fight against Raposo, like, honestly, it shouldn't have been a split, by the way. That split was hilarious. Like, how did Raposo get one scorecard? I have no idea. But the fighting style that Lima's bringing in that fight, just kicking the calf. He wasn't really doing much outside of just kicking a calf. He rarely used his hands. He landed some shots, but rarely. He fought smart. Don't get me wrong. Like, he did what he needed to do to win that fight easily, right? But in the Severino fight, he was looking a little cooked there in the second round. Started breathing a little bit heavy. Severino, the idiot, bit him. I have no idea why you would bite him. Really, really stupid move. But this guy, like, I counted. He had four fence grabs, man. like 4 fucking fence grabs. And this ref kept warning him, like, are you going to fucking give him a point, or are you just going to keep warning him and he's going to keep doing it? Like, what are you warning him for there? 1 warning, 2 warnings. The third one has to be an automatic point, like no doubt. And the fourth one, you might even disqualify the guy, right? But he literally grabbed the fence 4 times, and it was insane. Looking at this guy, like he's a black belt, I guess, in jiu-jitsu, and he has some good jiu-jitsu on him. I don't mind it. The reason why I didn't play Dos Santos is twofold. One, he's very wild when he throws, and he gets himself out of position a lot, and he can easily be taken down. So that's one. I think Lima can easily get him down when he's throwing his wild shit, and he's going to get him down. But the second and the biggest reason why I honestly didn't bet him, Tim, is because Lima has very, very heavy calf kicks, and Santos's lead leg has been destroyed before, right? It was in was it the Alta Moreno fight that he got his leg destroyed, or it might have been Paiva fight, the regional fight. One of those fights, he absolutely got his leg cooked, man. And like, for me, I think he can get his leg cooked, but the other important factor is he leaves his chin out there to be fucking cracked, dude. Every fight, man. He's just so wild that he's easily countered, right? Against good strikers. We saw Cape like counter him left, right, and center and hurt him many times, right? I think the one thing that Lima does well is counter. Like his right hand counter is really freaking good, and it's powerful. And then he has the calf kicks, right? To immobilize kind of Dos Santos, where he can't really move much. I took the KO here, man, on Lima. I thought I was going to bet Dos Santos. I ended up thinking that Lima KO at plus 650 is some value, man. The guy clearly hits very hard. Like, he hurt Severino very fucking bad in that fight, but Severino is tough as nails. I'm not saying Dos Santos is not tough, but you can only be tough for so long, bro. You can't keep taking shots flush on the chin all the time. And Dos Santos does that, and he relies on his durability. But one of these days, it's going to be gone, So I'm going to take a stab on Lima KO here at plus 650, honestly. I think he's the more cleaner striker. I think he can destroy the lead leg as well. He might even be able to get like some kind of fucking leg kick knockout, honestly, on as skinny as legs as this Dos Santos has. And I've seen him already been hobbling around with his leg destroyed. Even though he's very tough, if you can't stand on your leg, you can be tough all you want. Like, you're just going to go down, So, yeah, give me the plus 650 here on the KO for Andre Lima. Moving on, fight number 6 it is in the featherweight division. It is the 6-1 Isaac Dulgarian versus the 8-2 Brendan Marotte. And I don't even know why they made this fight. Maybe because they feel bad. They thought maybe, Dulgarian won his last fight and he lost, they end up losing a decision. Maybe they're trying to push him, get him, some easy wins. But dude, there's really not much to give out. There's one bet I like, maybe. It's sub 1 for Dulgarian. It's 280. He's going to get this guy down and destroy him. Maybe he's going to knock him out on the feet. I mean, I can't give you KO round 1. It sucks. I don't see how this guy's even going to make out of round 1. I just don't. The guy sucks. The guy is not good. He's getting mounted by fucking absolute horrible fighters. He's getting taken down and hurt against other horrible fighters. This guy's just brought into UFC to get his ass kicked, to be honest, with all due respect to him. But McKinney finished him in 20 seconds. Dulgarian might finish him in 30 seconds. Yeah, under half a round. I don't even mind that. What's the price? What's the fucking price on under? Is it at least 250? It's probably not bad because I think he's smashing. Like,
plus 150.
What he did to what's that guy's name 2 fights ago? Marshall. And we know Marshall's a tough fucking guy after watching his last fight, right? He absolutely destroyed Marshall in round 1. Can this guy take half of the shit that Marshall took? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. So there honestly might be value in round one fucking Dulgarian at like minus 170. I never like playing those kind of things, but there might be value there. Yeah, Tim, I don't know. What do you have here?
I have one that's going to lose, and then I have one that's definitely going to lose. But I'm I figure out which one you want to which one you want to not bet. But Dulgarian KO2 is plus 650. I don't think it gets there, like you're saying. But DK has this really interesting stupid bet on fight to end in the last 10 seconds of round one at 40-1. So maybe he can last till that last 10 seconds and just get that, just keep beating the shit out of him. And then they hear the clapper and then the ref stops it. But yeah, I think that this is dead. I mean, I think that I'd rather take the ends in the last 10 seconds than that for 40-1. So yeah, I think that this is a KO1. Fight like you said, the first 60 seconds is such a stupid line. It's plus 350. That's just craziness, man. That's an instant, because he's gonna take him down. He's gonna
what's the under two and under half?
Under half is plus 150.
Oh, fuck that. That's terrible. I'd rather just play round one.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Because the thing is, it could be from ground and pound where he's just beating the fuck out of him, and it's
totally.
just mercy stoppage, it's
totally.
done.
Yeah, I mean, they're both going to lose, but
yeah, I know it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah, I was asking what the price was. I meant.
Yeah, that we can move on. This fight should not be.
I mean, it's a stupid fight, but it's trying to get Dulgarian an easy win. That's what it is at the end of the day. And you know what? I kind of said this for the Dana White's Contender Series fight for Clark, and we see how that ended up. She absolutely got nuked. Moving on. Fight number 7. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 25-5 Wrong Zoo, or Zoo Wrong, or You Wrong, versus the 14-6 Chris Padilla. This one's yours, Tim.
Yeah, this fight is, I don't necessarily like this fight that much. I think that these guys are both very mid at best. Zhurong, this is his second stint with the UFC. He's I guess he's 24. He's got a million fights at 24. So he was obviously fighting at 13 years old in China. I think he's probably closer to 34, to be honest. They can change the birth certificates there pretty easily. Padilla, I think last fight, obviously huge performance for him. I think it was more of a shitting the bed from Jan Top than it was this Padilla, this great, just took him down so easily. Took him down, I think, 2 or 3 times. And then on the third time, every time Jan Top got up, he gave up his back, and Padilla just realized it and then took his back, got the hooks in, and it was the easiest rear naked choke ever. I kind of see this fight going I just think that it's a little bit the grappling edge. I see obviously for Padilla, he's going to try to get the fight to the ground. I don't think he's useless on the feet, but I don't think he's great on the feet. I think the striking edge is to Wrong. Again, it's not a murder scene on the feet, though. I think it's probably 60-40, 65-35 situation. Grappling, I think that Wrong can be taken down by a lot of guys. I think his takedown defense isn't great. He's been subbed a bunch. I think we both were on Bahamundes by sub against him at a huge line. Yeah, to me, I don't know. There's something about this fight. I just kind of think that the fight goes. I think I could see either one winning a decision. I think I really could. I think it could be close to maybe some grappling success in each round. So the bigger line is Padilla by points and Padilla split. I kind of lean Wrong wins the decision from damage side, but I think both lines are really good. I think Wrong points is plus 280. Padilla points is plus 550. Padilla split is 16-1, which is kind of crazy to me. I think that's a really good line. And Wrong split is plus 900. Yeah, I lean Wrong, but I do see definite path to victory in grappling and just top time and things like that from Padilla. Interesting to hear what you got to say.
Well, first things first, I look at Rong Zhu and I see 24 and absolutely no. Like maybe 34, yeah. But this guy is not 24. Give me a fucking break. But then I go and flip to the other side and I look Chris Padilla and it says 28. And again, no, I think this guy's 38. I mean, did you see him at face-offs? There's no chance this guy is 28, bro. Like, does he have a twin brother or something? They switched something? Like, I mean, fuck. There's no fucking way this guy's 28, man. He looks old as shit. But, like, I watched Chris Padilla's tape, honestly, and I think he's actually pretty good. Like, he's got decent striking. He's got good defense, good footwork. He times his takedowns really well against Ilian Top. Like, he got Ilian Top down pretty easily. And, you know, Ilian Top's hard to keep down. Like, the guy's going to keep trying to get up. And he did. And, you know, some of the things that kind of bothered Padilla in that fight is Ilian Top's kicks. Like, he's got really nasty kicks. Like, we saw it against Borashev, right? Borashev's an awesome striker, and we saw Ilian Top go off on him with his kicks, man. His kicks are nasty. And, you know, he kind of was tagging up Padilla with the kicks a little bit. But Padilla was landing on him on the feet, man. Like, he had good variety, good kicking game. He also landed some shots on the feet. I like he's pretty fluid, man. I don't think the guy is bad. And you know, Rong Zhu, I mean, he had his run to UFC, right? The first time, and he didn't really do too well, right? Rodrigo Vargas losing that fight to Vargas, where he just kicked him to death, kind of, is a bad look, right? And Vargas even took him down. Then the Bahamondes fight, like, he absolutely got kind of murdered in that fight, right? He gets out of the UFC, and then he goes and fights these guys on the road to UFC. And it's like, all these guys that he fought, first, they're not very good. Second of all, they're like one-trick ponies, man. They just want to grapple him. And if he knows that you're really not going to strike with him and all you're going to do is try to get him down, well, okay, he can defend takedowns. He's not bad because you're a one-trick pony. He's got only worry about the takedown, and that's it. But with, like, Padilla, like, he can't just worry about takedowns. Like, he mixes his striking really good, and then he times his takedowns to get a takedown. Now, can he keep Rong Zhu down? I don't know, but he has pretty good jiu-jitsu. He could probably get a back take with a body triangle, you know? So his decision prop is 650, man. It's way too big, in my opinion, at Hard Rock. Like, plus 650 on a guy that's, what is he, plus 180? Right? Rong Zhu, the one thing I can tell you is he's durable. He has a very good chin. He's hard to finish, guaranteed. Like, he's not going to be easy to finish. So, like, I think this is his best path, like, decision, and it's 650. Like, that can't be right, you know? I think that's his best path to win. He's not getting a knockout, I don't think. And he's not getting a sub, in my opinion.
I think he could sub him, honestly. I think, like, it's more like, I don't think that Rong is, like, fighting really good guys that are subbing him. And, like, I just think that he's one of those guys that just, like you're saying, like, the guys that were wrestling, I think that, like you said, that the one-trick ponies still had some success wrestling him.
Like, he got grappled against that guy, the Brazilian guy in UAE Warriors, who's a much better grappler, and he couldn't really, like, I think Rong Zhu is, like, he's competent on the ground. He's not like, you know, maybe he gets an opportunistic, some kind of sub, but I don't know. I don't really. It's possible, I guess, but
no, I think
it's a lot less likely than decision, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, like you're saying, I think that the most, like, if I'm thinking who's going to finish the fight, I would think that the most likely finish is coming by sub by Padilla, more than, like, a KO from Rong.
Really? I'm shocked.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rong packs power, but I think Padilla's, like, I think he's kind of durable. Like, he looks
very durable to me.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I don't think it's impossible that Rong could finish him. I just think I lean, like, a little bit more towards, like, the shortest line being Rong by KO to me seems it seems Zhu wrong, actually. It seems
To
a
me,
little.
to me, it's he's defensively very responsible. Like he keeps his hands up, he's
Yeah.
moving. He's not like one of those guys that's just going to engage in some like war, right? To knock him out. Like he's just not going to do that. And then he's going to, the thing is, Rong Zhu cannot just like plod forward and throw big shots because he's going to mix takedowns in. So he's going to keep himself balanced, you know? So I don't know. A 650 is too big in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe he gets a back take body triangle and that's probably around, you know? So yeah. I'm going to take some Chris Padilla here by decision at plus 650. Moving on, fight number 8. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 9-2 Trevor Peek versus the 7-1 Yanal Ashmoz. And, man, this is going to be a fucking banger, honestly. I taped both guys, and I came out saying, man, these guys are just absolutely go to war. I wanted to play the over first, and I said, there's no way. My ass is going to be puckering on the seat for 15 minutes. I don't want to feel like that. Then I wanted to play the under. And then I'm like, dude, do I really want to go? It's going to be an absolute war. I know that. And then both guys look extremely durable to me. The one guy fought 3 rounds with a broken fucking arm. Like he literally fought with one hand. You could see it in the fight. Like he literally fought with his right hand the whole fight. And you know, he was having a little bit of success too. Like he landed some big right hands. The guy packs a lot of power, Ashmoz. Like he is literally swinging for the fences, kind of like Peek is, you know? But like Peek just looks indestructible, dude. This guy is like crazy. If you hurt him, like it's so hard to finish this guy. And he just seems crazy durable to me, man. But he packs a shit ton of power. And when you look at Ashmoz, like the one thing that, okay, when you look at the Peek fight, right? His fights in the UFC. What did the one thing none of these guys did is they didn't sit there and swing for the fences against them, right? Chepe mixed in a lot of takedowns. This Yaza guy, basically, he grappled him. He had a plan of just grappling him. But then you looked at Charlie Campbell, and Campbell didn't do that. He tried to get technical. But, dude, he hurt Campbell multiple times just by plodding forward. And the thing with Ashmoz is he's going to stand there and swing with him. And I think he's more durable than Ashmoz. And he hits like an absolute truck. We know that. Peek does. I'm going to go with this KO, man. It's 3-1 on Hard Rock. I can't not bet the KO here for him because I truly think he's going to be given a lot of opportunities to knock this guy out. And I think he's the more durable guy of the two. So 3-1 on the knockout. I looked at the decision lines, Tim. Just not enough for me. Like +2 something is not enough for me for a Trevor Peek decision. Or the other guy like +280 or whatever, 300. So that's why I lean KO here at +300 for Peek. What do you have?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at. I did. Did you see these guys haven't faced off? Did they face off already? Is Peek like way taller than like not way taller, but taller?
They're about the same size. They were about the same size. No.
Okay, because I was doubting like if that that Ashmoz looked 5'9" or not, because I was like, I might be 5'9" if he's 5'9", but I guess
no, they're the same height though.
Okay,
they look
cool.
like the same height. Maybe he had an inch on him, not much.
Okay. I will say this before I break it down. I've never seen Jewish Better and Ashmoz in the same room at the same time. So there might be some doppelganger shit going on there. But no, all seriousness, I think that, like you said, I think this is a car crash between two durable guys. And I think Ashmoz is like, my problem with him is that he's usually really kind of low volume, like hunting big shots, like a lot of times. But I don't think he's going to have the opportunity to do that at all this fight. I think that Peek's going to bring it to him. He's going to constantly bring the fight. I think if there's a grappling edge, wrestling edge, I think it is with Ashmoz. I think he's probably more likely to get a takedown, but I just think that these guys are going to stand and bang most likely and swing dicks. That being said, I think that these guys both are really durable. I think that if it gets out of the first like 6-7 minutes, I think that the fight goes probably I don't see anybody getting a late finish, but obviously now that I said that, somebody's getting a round 3 finish. I think that the fight ends by split at 400 is not bad. Peak split 8-1, Ashmoz split 9-1. I can just see this being like a really big, like a nice fight to watch, really entertaining. And even if one of these guys wins, even if like Ashmoz wins clear, I could see that, 30-27 for Peak, from one of the judges. So yeah, give me an end split on this one. I'll pucker my butt for a little bit for this fight and hope that the fight goes. So end split plus 400. If you want to take greasy shots on Peak or Ashmoz, they're 8 and 9-1.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that as well. I just didn't want my ass to pucker, Tim. You could have yours pucker. Fight number 9. It is in the flyweight division. It is a 16-8 match. Schnell versus the 16-6-1 Cody Durden. This one's yours, Tim.
I'll be quick with this one. I mean, obviously, Matt Schnell's chin is just completely dust. If he doesn't get knocked out when they're putting on the Vaseline in the fight, I'll be a little bit shocked. I think that was like plus 300 for him to get knocked out by the Vaseline guy. So that is a Lambo in itself. But I'd be stupid if I didn't. Obviously, the books are totally lining this like Cody Durden's just going to come in and KO him on the feet. It's possible for sure. I also could see I could see this fight going a couple different ways. Obviously, I feel like the Durden KO, if he connects on any punch, I think is live for any minute of this fight. Like I just think like he's got to connect once or twice, and that could be it. There's only been a couple of fights that Schnell hasn't been knocked out by those. Like in the Suman Energy fight, he was not. I mean, that fight could have been stopped like 3 times. Like I know that he fought through it and got the sub eventually, but I mean, he was legitimately concussed. Probably got CT from that fight. The other fight I think was Tyson Nam that he was able to last, and it's just like I don't know. I just feel like Durden could be in grapple mode here. He could obviously try and stand and bag with him. I think if he tries to stand with Schnell, obviously he could hit him and knock him out. But I think like it's just like I think Schnell's quicker. I think he's got solid striking. I think he's like an all around good fighter, just minus the chin. Like I just don't think that I just think it's just so hard to bet on him because you just know that he's going to get knocked out so easily. So I kind of like 2 bets in this one. I kind of like Durden by decision plus 270. And I don't hate Schnell by sub at plus 700. He's dangerous off of his back. Like he can throw up arm bars. He can throw up triangles. He's even got a good guillotine if Durden makes mistakes. And I think that's been one of the Achilles heels for Durden in his career, that he can be like meme subbed. Like he can be like, just opportunistic subs against him. I had a big bet on, obviously Tagir is just a completely different level grappler, but I got a big bet, one of my bigger bets and props in that fight. Cause I was just like, he's just going to kill him. Like he's going to be able to out wrestle him. He's going to get to positions. Makayev caught him. Jimmy Flick caught him. I just think that there's, these are like opportunistic subs against him. I think he could stick his neck in the wrong place, and I think Schnell could potentially get him in a guillotine or potentially guard sub him as well. So I kind of lean more Durden points at plus 270, but I don't hate Schnell sub at plus 700 either.
Yeah, I mean, I think Schnell's chin is dust, man. I'm taking Durden KO 1-2. It's 2-1. I think he's going to get him out of there early, in my opinion. I think, watching back, I was kind of surprised how well he was doing in the striking versus Bruno Silva. It's a good look, honestly, because Bruno Silva's a solid striker, really good striker. And Schnell, Durden hurt him, man. Durden hurt him pretty bad in that fight, and he was landing on him. He was honestly outstriking him. And I had a bet on Silva and Silva KO, which was a big line. But like Schnell doesn't hit nowhere near as hard as Silva does. And Schnell's chin is always there to be cracked, man. Every fucking fight. And it's like, it's just not good. His chin is not good. And, Cody Durden, you don't see a lot of knockouts on his record. Yeah, he's only got 6. but the guy is swinging very freaking hard on the feet. And honestly, if he's smart, he shouldn't really go for takedowns here. Like, he shouldn't try to mess around with the grappling because, you know, Schnell is kind of dangerous off his back. He throws up a lot of subs. So I like Durden KO 1-2. It's plus 200. I just don't mind that price. You know, it's not the best price. But if it extends to round 3, probably not gonna. I mean, he took this fight on very short notice, right? And up a weight class at 35 for both of them. So, you know, I probably was in the gym. You know, he's probably working out a little bit, but he wasn't getting ready for a fight. So he might just say, fuck it, balls to the wall for 2 rounds, try to knock this guy out. They know each other. They're friendly with each other. You could see it in the face-offs. You know, they were pretty cool with each other. But, yeah, I mean, let's get that 50K bonus, Cody, and smash this guy early. Let's move on. Fight number 10. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 16-5-1 Kyle Nelson versus the 16-5 Steve Garcia. Another absolute banger. That's why I like this card, man. They literally put bangers together on this card. And any Steve Garcia fight is a banger. Like, this guy's just going to come out and bang. And he's going to throw big shots out of the southpaw position. He's going to throw some wild kicks. You know, he's just going to be very aggressive, man. That's how he fights. Kyle Nelson, on the other hand, missed weight here. You know, he missed substantially at 148.5, I think. So, you know, what do I like here? I think Garcia can probably do it in the later rounds here. You know, he can obviously do it in round 1 too. Don't get me wrong. That's when Steve Garcia does most of his work. But Kyle Nelson is a little careful early. You know, I think he's never been finished early. It's always been in the later rounds where he kind of gasses, gets tired, and gets finished. He's a smart fighter, to be honest. He's been fighting a lot smarter. He's been mixing grappling when he has to. He throws nice calf kicks. You know, he's just been fighting smarter at 45, you know. So the problem is, I'm not sure if Steve Garcia will allow you to fight a smart fight, you know, in a small cage, because he's just going to make it chaotic, man. And the other thing with Steve Garcia, let's not look past this. Like, the guy is chinny as well. Like, he gets dropped and hurt a lot. And he's been, you know, KO'd quite a few times, right? Actually once, sorry. I take it back, once in the UFC. But he's been dropped and hurt a lot of fights, man. A lot of fights. And if there's one thing that Kyle Nelson has, that, you know, he has big power in his hands. He hurts a lot of people. He has KOs. And if Nurdenbeke can, you know, drop you and almost finish you in round 1, I'm sure Kyle Nelson can as well. So KO1 Nelson is 850. I'm interested. It's in Hard Rock, I believe, as well. But I'm also interested 2-3, honestly, on Garcia at 550 and 1200, man. The later this fight goes, the better it favors Garcia, in my opinion. But also in round 1, I mean, both guys are live to finish. So, yeah. For me, the price on Garcia, obviously, round 1 sucks. So that's why I'm going 2-3. And then Nelson KO1, I think 850 is worth a shot. How about you, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably, like you said, it's probably like a Garcia early. I could see Nelson. I you know, could see either one of these guys bonking each other. If Charlie Ontiveros can hit 2 axe kicks on you in the round, then basically anybody can. I think he's hittable. He's gotten knocked down in like so many of these fights. The only one to like just dead stone cold kill him was Mahashate. But yeah, I think, you know, for me, it's Garcia round 2, round 3 as well. But I don't know, man. Like, I think that there might be some value on the sub in this situation as well, because of a club and sub. Anytime you get submitted by Matt Sales, I think that that's a huge red flag. He's a striker with 0 jiu-jitsu, who's been finished on the ground himself multiple times. And that's also like just the gassing from Nelson sets that up as well. the 450 I think is like plus 550 on 2 and then plus 1200 on round 3 for Garcia. But like, dude, sub 2 is 40 to 1. Sub 3 is like 100 to 1. Like, I think it's very possible that he could club and sub him. The Mel Costa fight's a perfect example. Like, dude, he had him down. He was raining elbows. He absolutely had the choke in, and then he just decided, no, I'm just going to keep elbowing this dude. But like, he easily could have decided. Like, that was just like a situation where, like, you get like GM3 doesn't go for that. GM3 goes for the choke. Like, it's just a style thing. So I think like in these situations, I think Garcia is known to bonk, and he just doesn't have any subs because he usually goes for the kill. But I don't know, man. I think it's possible that maybe he does. I'm hoping that he goes for the neck in this fight. The 12, even like if he goes round 1, it's 12 to 1 for the sub. But I think, you know, our props at 2 or 3, sub 12 to 1, sub 2, 40 to 1, sub 3, 100 to 1. I mean, those are stupid.
Yeah. Let's move on. A fight number, where are we at? 11, co-main event. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 26-12 Jessica Andrade versus the 17-5-1 Natalia Silva. And this one's yours, Tim.
I think this is a really great fight. I like that they matched up Silva with Andrade. Andrade's going to be fighting for that money. She's got to pay lawyers because she's been getting robbed from her manager about a couple $1 million. I lean this Dixon. Absolutely, this is a lotion fight for sure. Absolutely, 100%. I lean Silva by decision in this fight, but I think that there are kind of some stupid lines. Like the two that stick out to me are like KO 2-3 for Silva at plus 1100, plus 1400. I think that it's possible that she could like volume up Jess, and then Jess could get a little bit frustrated and come into the pocket. And the others, again, like, I just think that I don't see that Jess like has not grappled against many fighters recently. Like, she took down Marina Rodriguez, I think, once, but like she used to be able to rely on her like going for a couple of takedowns per fight and or slamming somebody and then just knocking him out like Rose and using her physicality. I just look at it, I'm like, dude, Teresa Bleda is not as good, not as physical, not as good a wrestler. And she got it. Not only did she get her down, I mean, I was shocked watching that fight again after watching the Jazz DeVicious fight and like seeing how maybe it was the fact that she wasn't concerned at all about the striking from Jazz DeVicious, but I mean, she probably shouldn't have been concerned at all about the striking from Bleda either. But like the positions that Bleda got on her on the ground early in that fight were just like really, really bad. And Bleda having as much success as she did and way more success than Jasmine did in that fight, in her fight with her, was like, it was stupid to me. So I just think like it's Silva KO 2-3. And then I look at Andrade by sub is like plus 2,000. Like, I just think like she needs to grapple in this fight. Like, she needs, like, I think it's not like she can just go out like she did against Durden or going out like she did against Marina Rodriguez. I mean, I think she was losing round 2 against Rodriguez till she like stalked her and then got her, like, struck her pretty hard and actually like stole the round. So yeah, I think that the lateral movement from Silva is just really, really good. The counter strikes are really, really good. I think she could probably counter her at the end of the fight. But yeah, I think that it's, after all that, I do think that it's most likely a Silva decision. But yeah, KO 2-3 or Andrade by sub for me.
Yeah, I was going back and forth on this fight. Nothing really stuck out to me, and I'm looking and looking. I'm like, what am I going to play here? Like, KO on Silva sucks. Like, I can't play 3-1 on women's MMA 125 on a KO prop. Like, I think it could happen. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't like the KO line there. And then I look at Andrade's, and it's not really appealing as well. What did appeal to me is a little bit, and I don't think it happens. It's like the only thing I would think about playing. It's Andrade by split. It's 16-1. Like, we always talk about like moments and this and that, and could she have the bigger moments here? Possibly. I don't think so, honestly. Quite frankly, I think Silva wins pretty easily. That's my breakdown. Like, who do I think wins? I think Silva wins pretty easily, whether it be KO or she just might cruise to a decision. I think she's way too fast for her. She's got way better footwork. And what I noticed with Andrade is everything is loopy, right? All her hooks are loopy. And when you're throwing 1-2s down the middle, they're just cracking her. I mean, Marina Rodriguez cracked her a bunch, dude, but she just gassed, like completely gassed. And then you look at the girls, Yan. How did she knock her out? She pulled back, counter right hand, dropped her straight down, right? And Silva's a really good counter puncher. She's just a really good striker in general. And all her punches are straight. They're 1-2s right up the middle. She hurt fucking Araujo very bad in round 1. I think she's going to hurt her, dude. The other thing to mention is she's going up to 125. Like you just had 2 wins at 115. Why the fuck are you fighting at 125 now?
Needs money.
And needs money. Yeah, that's probably it. And, they're like, okay, you need money. Sure. We want to build this girl up anyway. Natalia Silva is very marketable. She's always laughing. People love her. She's very friendly, right? Fuck it. Here, go fight Natalia Silva. Get your ass kicked for 15 minutes, which I think is what's going to happen, man. Like, she's way too fast for her. Way better footwork. She's too technical for her. What worked for Andrade against Marina Rodriguez is she chopped her legs off. It's not going to work against Silva. She's way too good with her footwork. She doesn't stand still. It's not like the girl just stands there and lets you kick her. No, she's constantly circling, bouncing on the tippy toes, and she's kicking the shit out of you as well. So I don't know, man.
Don't you think though that that's kind of like, there's 2 things that I think that I by the way, I love your pick on that. Like, I think that the split for her at that line is kind of stupid. And Aussie was saying the same thing. I think that those are really great lines, like just minutes versus moments. But like, there's 2 things I want to see. I'll finalize this quick. Like, I want to see if she can kick her, and if she could like get one of those situations where she like gets 2 or 3 calf kicks that she actually lands with as hard as she does. And if she can actually slow her down just a little bit with those, like, I think that that's got to be one of her paths as well. So I totally agree with that. And then the other is like, I can't wait to see how Silva reacts if she actually gets clipped like by Andrade. Like, I just want to see I just want to see what her durability is, because she hasn't been really like, we haven't seen her get rocked by a lot of people in a lot of these fights because her movement and her defense is so good. So that's always like something I want to test on. Like, whenever Andrade is fighting, like, I want to see how do they react. Like, you saw Durden's reaction. You're like, oh, this is dead. Like, she's just dead. Like, so it'd be interesting to see what happens when she gets calf kicked, and if she can land a few, if she could slow her down, then she might be able to make this a little bit more of her style fight. But if she can't slow her down, I agree with you, man. She's pretty fucked in this fight.
I just don't think she can grapple here, man. It's 125. She's the smaller girl. Like, did you see my face-offs? Like, Silva's way bigger than her. And if she fucking grapples, she's going to gas out. She's not going to control. The other thing is, even if she grapples, she ain't controlling Silva, in my opinion. Silva's going to get back up. Like, you could say whatever you want about Bleda, but that's a big chick, man, on top of you. Bleda's a big girl. Silva's not no big girl. Yeah, she's muscular, but she's not a big girl on top. Like, I just don't think she's going to control Silva if she gets her down, and she's going to waste a lot of energy. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not too interested in Jessica Andrade here. I like Silva in general. I honestly think the price is probably right, maybe even a little short. Like, I think Silva easily wins here. All right. 11 fights through. We're off to the main event. Before we go on to the main event, guys, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, please, if you don't mind. Also, my Discord link down below, $25 a month. Click that link, get in the Discord, and let's cash those tickets. All right, Tim. Main event of the night. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 22-7 Gilbert Burns versus the 16-1 Sean Brady, and I will kick this one off. I think there's a lot of value in Burns' decision, to be honest, man. It's 5-1. Okay, his split is 14-1, Tim. He's the one that's been 5 rounds multiple times. He's the one that, I see a lot of people saying like, oh, the striking might be. I don't think the striking is close, honestly. I think Burns is a way better striker. Like, I just don't like what I see from Sean Brady on the feet. It's just not good. Gilbert Burns was doing really well against Jack Della. Yeah, he landed takedowns, but he was doing well in the striking. I give him a pass for the Bilal fight. Like, he fucked up his what was it? His arm, his shoulder, something.
It was a knee to the shoulder, I think.
Yeah, he fucked up his shoulder. And what was it, round 1 or round 2 at the latest? It was very early. And so I give him a pass there. And so Khamzat fight, like, absolute fucking war. He was up 2-0 on 2 judges' scorecards against Jack Della. Like, I don't think it was right, but he was. And, like, we go back and we see, Sean Brady, yeah, he's a good grappler. He's got good wrestling. But I doubt he's going to fucking control Gilbert Burns on the ground, man. I highly doubt it. And so we get to the point and we say, oh, well, he looked good against Kevin Gastelum. Come on, man. Kevin Gastelum he just doesn't seem serious about fighting anymore, dude. Like, the guy, I don't know about him, and if there's a weakness with Kevin Gastelum, it's the grappling, right? And he took advantage of it. So I don't know what to think here. I watch a Chiesa fight. I watch him get pieced up on the feet against Chiesa. Not a very good look. I like decision here for Burns, man. I don't think Brady, like, I know people, kind of that one against Bilal. I don't know what went on there, but he seems like a tough guy. I don't think he's that much of a weenie, where he's just going to quit here. It's a 5-round fight. Burns is also a lot older now at this point. So, yeah, I'm going to go with decision at 500 and split here, Tim, at plus 1,400. Not my best take, but I think it's live.
Yeah, I had two trains of thought when I was thinking about like how I thought this fight could go. I from a Lambo's perspective, I think that like yours are 2 really, really good lines. Like, I think that this is very possible that the striking could be Burns much, much easier. I don't think that I've loved betting on Sean Brady's fights. Like, he's been one of my favorite fighters to bet on. And I just think like there's a couple things. Like, I think that he could get on top of Burns, and unlike like Chimaev in that fight, Chimaev got him down and wanted nothing to do with the jiu-jitsu in that fight. Like, he just absolutely did not want to get engaged. Like, as soon as he got down, he was just, it wasn't that like even like Burns worked his way up or did anything. He was just like, he got him down and then he like got out of his guard and he just like, get up. Like, and that to me was impressive, like from the Burns side. But we all know, I mean, Burns is fucking amazing fucking grappler, an amazing jiu-jitsu player, specifically. I think that the wrestling and the physicality edge and the strength edge is for Brady. I think he's really consistent in how he gets his takedowns. He's really processed with it. He goes for singles. He goes for push against the cage. And then he's just strong. I mean, he's just physically strong. So it's similar to like Petroski, Jeremiah Wells. They're all from the same camp. Like, they're all, once they get on top, they're all heavy on top. And I feel like most likely, I think that Brady can stay safe. I think his jiu-jitsu is solid. Like, I think that he could stay safe if he is on top. I know that Gastelum actually reversed a position on him, and after getting his back take, he actually flipped around and then was pounding him out a little bit. So I do think that obviously scares me in this fight. I do know that Burns could definitely reverse him or have some success on the ground. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, he's just top timing him easily. But I also think that like Brady, I just have to assume that his gas is better. I know he hasn't shown like phenomenal gas in some of his fights, but I just have to assume that if this fight is just a shit ton of grappling, that he's going to have a little bit better gas later on in the fight. So I like yours. Honestly, I really do. That was like half of my thought process was like, dude, Burns could easily win a decision in all these 5-round fights, no matter what happens, go to split. So I like those a lot, but I also just could see Brady finishing him late. Like I just could see that, similar to like what happened with Jack, is just like once he didn't get it, once he had to work really, really hard in rounds 1 and rounds 2, like he just seemed done in round 3. So like I just don't think that it's not like the Bilal fight where he lasted 5 rounds and it's like a long, long time ago. So I just feel like it's Brady round 3, 14-1, round 4, 19-1, round 5 is 25-1. I lean KO, but you know, we've seen fights where these guys like get submissions, and like if you told me like Fluffy Hernandez, the gap in jiu-jitsu between Fluffy Hernandez and Vieira and Sean Brady and Burns, or it's probably pretty close. You know, it's just a death gas sub. You know, and then I think obviously the other big one is Glover versus Erie. Like just no way, no, there's like 10 times worse grappler than Glover is. It's just a death gas, and then he takes his back and subs him. So, I mean, those are like 100-1 on round 5, 65 and 50-1. But I lean that he'll KO him and maybe get a ground and pounder situation.
Those are Gilbert Burns sub props or
no? Those are Brady by sub in rounds 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Wow, those are crazy lines. What are they again?
50, 65, and 100-1.
Yeah, I think they're crazy too, honestly.
You know what I'm saying? Like it easily could just be just a like side control arm triangle situation, or like somehow gets them out, and just it's like we always see, like these guys just fucking, most of these subs, I listen to people talk about this all the time, and like and they say like, oh, you got to get him, he's going to get him when he's dry in round 1. It's like, dude, that's not the reason why most of these subs happen. Like the dryness level isn't the reason why these guys are getting subs. Like most of the time these subs are happening are either just incredible jiu-jitsu gaps between two fighters, or somebody's fucking gassing beyond belief and they're just quitting in the fight. And I just think that that's way more likely to happen than these odds are suggesting. So yeah.
All right, good breakdown there. As a Brady backer, that's a great look, says half the battle, Dan Levy. Which one, Dan? I'm assuming yours, the late sub, because he's a Brady backer. All right, Tim, Lambo Parlay, do you want to go first, sir?
Sure. Yeah, I've got two different ones, and then I have a variation on the 2 different ones. So it's basically 4 different 4 ones that we've talked about. So I got Petroski sub, Silva points, and wrong by points is 34-1. If you switch Silva points to Silva KO, it becomes 68-1. And then the other one is Petroski sub, Silva points, and Padilla points. And that is 59-1. And then if you switch the Silva points to KO again, it's 116-1. So it's basically those same 3 fights, the Padilla wrong fight, Petroski Buka fight, and Silva Andrade. And Petroski sub in all of them. One is wrong by decision, one is Padilla by decision, and then points for Silva. You know, so it's just basically trying to create. I think the most likely one is the 34-1 or the 57-1, the decision prop with Silva. But got to throw. I don't want to be hanging myself out to dry. Let's get the KO.
All right. I have just one. It's Santos KO, Petroski sub, and Durden KO. 64-1. That's all I'm going to give. We're going to cash those tickets, Tim. We might hit 2 Lambo parlays tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe 3. But yeah, thank you, everybody that joined. 307 live viewers. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody in chat that commented, that asked questions. It was a great show. Hour and 24 minutes, Tim. We went a little long, but great show per usual. Do you have anything going on before we sign off here?
No, sir. No, sir. Can't wait.
All right, guys, give him a follow. Timothy Troiano on Twitter. Also, tomorrow, Good luck to everybody. Hope you guys. It's an early card, right? I think it's early tomorrow. Yeah.
Yep.
Good luck to everybody. And one last thing, as I say per usual, Tim, let's cash those.